Gentlemen, I'm John Gray, and this is Just Plain Living.
And I'm Peggy Burton. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Lauren Foster.
And
the handsomest.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
The handsomest. Look at that tie.
Sorry, John.
I'm glad I was last. I was still trying to get dressed over here when the camera came on.
And you're coordinated with your shirt, with his tie. That's good.
There you go.
Yeah, John and I spoke before we came in today. So.
Oh, okay. So you could come
Actually,
in
that's been a
coordinated.
rule of John and I. John and I, in the 20 years we've done this, never speak much about anything before we go on the air.
It's a good idea.
We don't talk about what we're.
Because then you run out of anything to say. You've already said it. So what's the point? Yeah.
Yep.
Sort of needs to be surprising.
You
Yeah.
get caught in the rain yesterday? We needed that so bad.
We did.
It was,
I did. I had to go
Oh, I
rescue
was
my cat
drenched.
from the neighbor's yard, and I was ready to come to work.
I was going from one event to another event, and the second event I had to go to, so I got soaked.
Did you?
And I sat in the car and turned on the heat and dried off.
Good job.
Cats
But
don't like rain.
it was
do they,
great
Lauren?
because we needed it. We
Yeah.
needed the rain.
Bunch of
Really
rain.
bad.
It was a bunch of rain.
I came back from town after being gone for a week, and my garden is completely covered in weeds. I don't know if I'm ever going to get back on top of it again.
You actually put out a garden?
I did. I'm full of
Everybody
surprises.
needs to be putting out a
Now, I have to
garden.
say, I would have never guessed that.
I've already got. I'll see if Philip can show you pictures of my tomatoes that are already growing.
You're
Yeah.
kidding,
Yeah.
Lauren. I'm so
Have
proud of
tomatoes,
you.
Yes, and Brussels sprouts. And
That
I
is
eat,
wonderful.
I eat salads out of my garden every day. I did.
Unbelievable.
I know.
I think you're my father's lost child. He was a farmer. He loved it.
I think Farmer Pete got a hold of her.
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
And I went on this organic primal kick, and I wanted fresh stuff
That's
right
good.
out of my yard.
No,
it's good.
everybody
Very
should be
good thing
doing
to
it.
do.
Everybody should
And
be doing
variety is the
it.
spice of life. Don't forget.
Because people
Oh,
are
me.
leaving the farm, going to the city to get a job, and so we're not going to have anything to eat. So it's just a simple matter of people got to plant stuff.
Yeah.
And it really is fun to just go out and pluck it.
You know, I
off your-
never ever considered that fun, because when I was a kid, I lived with my grandmother, and that was, as Peggy said, was a necessity.
Right.
We had this garden, and that's how we ate. And
you had to do it? You had to
yeah,
pull
and
the weeds
I
and
hated
hoe the-
digging
hoe it?
potatoes
Yeah.
and all that kind of mess, But so I mean, doing that today for recreation is just not my kind of fun. But
That's not
to
sound
each
like
his own.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, when Fran and I lived on Washington Street, we lived next door to Mr. Jenkins. And at one point, Washington Street, there was really good dirt behind the house because the houses on Washington Street, all had property behind them.
So you had
And there were goats at one point. I mean, there was livestock living up and down
you had a
Washington
lot of
Street.
fertilizer.
Good ground.
There
And
you
so
go.
Mr. Jenkins was gardening every year. So I thought, man, that looks like fun. I'll do that. So I whipped me out a garden and come home after work every afternoon and get out there and work some more in that garden. And I thought, well, I'll just stay at work 30 minutes more and go buy my food. this is not fun. The only fun part of it, the only thing that I really enjoyed, of course, is eating the fresh stuff is fun, was walking barefooted in the dirt.
That was always good,
That's
wasn't it?
it feels good to your feet.
Yep.
In
does.
that fresh plowed dirt to walk barefoot and the little clods get up in your feet and rub little sensitive spots, I guess.
Give you a little
Pressure
foot
points.
massage,
Yeah, you
yeah.
get the foot
Well,
massage just by walking through the dirt.
I think a good majority of farmers do it because they love to do it. Honestly, I
Yeah.
do believe, because my father loved to farm, and I can see him with the dirt in his hand just dropping. I mean, he took such great pleasure in that.
Well, and a lot of people like Mr. Jenkins, I mean, they did that because they liked doing it, and they'd throw last year's stuff away that was in the freezer to put this year's stuff
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't like they were
Stockpiling
starving,
for Y2K.
or needed to grow that stuff again
I have a
next year.
plan. Go to a farmer's house when he's ready to empty the freezer.
Dump his stuff, take it to your
Yeah,
freezer.
take it to your freezer.
Hey, I got a really cool new thing for
What did you
preserving
get?
food, a food dehydrator.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
always a good
I'm
thing.
going to make zucchini chips to replace potato chips, which is my
Fantastic.
favorite thing in the whole world, and jerky, and I'm going to dry my own garlic and herbs and have those ready for the
For
I'm
what?
optimistic for the winter when it's harder to grow fresh herbs.
Oh, I think that's great.
Well,
You're turning into a squirrel.
Well, that's like in the old day, we'd chop up apples and put them out in the sun.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing,
Natural
same thing.
dehydrator, yeah.
And you don't have to freeze them; they
Right.
last forever.
We had
And
a
they're good.
cellar. We
Yeah,
didn't
they're
have
good.
freezers, but we had a cellar, and
Oh, yeah.
our grandmother would can stuff and put it in the cellar. So
Dark and cool.
People don't. Very, very few people can anymore.
It's hard.
And
it's
you know
really
what?
hard and complicated.
It's hard and complicated, but that too is another thing that people ought to do, because in case of famine, canned food is still good, whereas frozen food is going to be lost.
well, you know,
Since the
there's a whole culture out there now that I think they call them doomsday something or other, but
That are storing.
they're preparing for some kind of major catastrophe where there wouldn't be food available in grocery stores. And
That's supposed to happen this year, isn't it?
Oh, it's
I think it
2012?
typically is supposed to happen
Yeah.
every year.
According
but-
to the Mayans, I think this is the year.
This may be the year.
I saw a cartoon. I probably told you about that. Though I saw a cartoon about these two minds, and one of them's knocking out the calendar, on this rock, and he runs out of rock, and the other one looks at him and goes, "Somebody's really going to be upset about that one of these days."
I saw that.
All he
That is
needed
really
was a
good.
bigger rock.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So one of our fans who watches our show said that y'all didn't even miss me last week. You didn't even mention that I was gone.
We were too busy last week.
What were
Things
you
were
busy
rocking.
doing?
Things were
Thanks
rocking
for
and rolling.
rocking and rolling over here. Yeah.
So you
was-
didn't
it was-
miss me.
Oh, we always
Yes, we did.
I'm sure that you
always
crossed
miss
our
you.
mind. We just probably didn't mention it.
I'm
on the
just so
air.
impressed you came back with a suntan. Isn't that great?
She left with a suntan.
She left with the suntan.
Oh, okay.
And the thing about it is, she came back with a suntan, and it rained the whole time. What does that tell you?
Yeah. We're not
Peggy's
sure how
right,
that
y'all are
happened.
wrong.
I saw something yesterday on the internet that sort of depicts, I guess, the sign of the times, and that is that Facebook is now mentioned in 1/3 of all divorces in the United States.
Really?
Facebook, yes.
Like as in, I had to
Well-
get off Facebook so my soon-to-be ex couldn't find ammunition, or
Well, either they were spending all their time on Facebook, or they met
inappropriate Facebook relationships.
Exactly, yeah, they met someone online on Facebook, and
I had a boyfriend for a minute that was very inappropriate on Facebook.
which is really disturbing to me. It's really sad to me, and John can relate to this because he was a part of this. But there was a time when John and I were at the American Legion that a lawyer told me that the American Legion is mentioned in at least half the divorces in this county.
We were the cause of that.
Facebook is taking
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad that that's not the case, but we
Zuckerberg, or whatever his name is worth $27 billion.
I know.
Yeah,
And we're still working.
There you go.
There's
Exactly.
something wrong with this
You
picture.
didn't get credit for all those divorces.
but it was a steady stream of people coming in, lawyers coming in down there, and some of them had subpoenas, et cetera, et cetera. But we had this logbook you had to sign in. If you guys remember, you had to sign in down there if you weren't a member.
Right.
And there was a constant stream of lawyers, at least one a week, coming in there. And we need to look at your guest book.
Oh, really?
Certified divorce papers, you'll find them at the
See, Bobby Joe was in here that night.
Right.
The night in question.
Yeah.
Seriously, I heard today on the they were talking about it on the Today Show earlier this morning, that Facebook lost $2 billion in the stock market yesterday.
Yeah, it opened
Well, they
it opened
just
it like
went on the-
it
their
did.
IPO was just a couple
I think
days
they
ago.
started out at $38 or something, and some change was what their stock was selling for,
Interesting,
and it was down
yeah.
to 34. I believe a drop of
dropped $2
maybe
billion.
15% or something in a couple of days.
Is that ordinary for a couple of days being a public company?
Probably not. Usually on the front end, you probably
There's probably
go
some
the
other
way.
thing taking the place of Facebook
There,
that's
I
becoming
understand
more
there's some
important.
options out there. I don't know what they are, Lauren. Are there other things out there that?
Social networking things?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, got
Yeah,
tons.
okay.
Twitter is probably the second runner-up to Facebook.
And LinkedIn, how about that?
LinkedIn is for
yeah.
business people.
And that's good.
People use that for job networking, and I use all three of those sites. Twitter less. And then they come up with new ones every day.
Oh, yeah.
MyLife.com and
Well-
YourLife.com. and-
Right.
And
Well, what they were saying is, the last time there was when the big dot-coms, everybody invested money in the dot-coms, and they took off like a rocket ship, but there was no place for them to go. and it ended up a lot of people lost a lot of money because there was really no way
nowhere to
to pay
progress.
for it to pay anything.
Right.
And they're a little bit smarter this time with Facebook because they're selling Facebook as having 9 billion or 19 billion or however many
Viewers.
billion people there are that view it. But you know, and you would think it would be fertile for advertising, but the majority of the viewers that use it don't want to see any advertising. They're young people that have apps on their phone that knock or wherever they're watching it that block the
That block
advertising.
it. That's right.
So it's not as big a push, a fertile ground for advertisers as a lot of people think. It's still a good place to be.
Yeah, and they really have the ability to target when you're there because they see the things that you're talking about and they can grab keywords out of your
I'm not sure. I'm not
conversations
sure how they do this. Lauren, being a marketing expert, might know that. But I remember one day I was looking for shoes online, and then for days after that, every time I'd get on Facebook, there were ads
For shoes.
for shoes. Yeah.
And I've done that, and they were the
You know.
specific shoes I was looking for. They were
Right.
advertising.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
because
right.
I've looked at maybe shirt or something like that online, and that particular shirt will show up
Will
every time.
pop up.
You know, like if you bought that, they're gonna make you think about that
That's right.
every time you
Yeah,
get online.
If you decided not to, they're not going to let it go.
Right. Exactly.
And I don't even know really about the legality of that, of targeting advertising at you. I was reading some legislation
I'm not sure
recently
of that either. Yeah, I'm not sure it's even.
Well, one of
a
the
thing
one of
to
the
do.
companies that Dan Markham and the guys over here that have the capital investment money are investing some money in a company that when you're on your internet or you're looking at something online and your cursor say like goes across that pair of glasses, there will be a drop down that says these are Tommy Bahama glasses or
Right.
this is Gloria Vanderbilt
yeah.
sweater, and it costs X amount of dollars, and if you want to go to that website, you can
You just
click right
click right
there.
there and be
so
gone.
whenever you're looking at stuff,
Something is.
apparel,
Yeah.
a Gucci bag, whatever, golf clubs, whatever your cursor passes, it can give you an opportunity to go to link into that website and go. So it's
Instant gratification.
interactive.
Anything we want, we can go and find it right
Interactive.
there.
Exactly.
So-
Instant gratification. I think we're out of time.
Yeah.
All right. We are out of time for this section, but we'll be right back with all kinds of great things to come. Don't you go away.
Times have changed since Traders Bank first opened our doors in 1889. Back then, online banking meant people were waiting ahead of you. And technology? The word hadn't even been invented yet. Even though banking has transformed over the years, at Traders, one thing has never changed. Friendly smiles, a neighborly hello, and a sincere appreciation for our customers. When a Traders employee says, "You're welcome," you are, and you always will be. Traders Bank, you're welcome. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. One of the things that happens around town every year is the American Legion Auxiliary has their poppy sale, and that's going to be this weekend on the 26th, and my lovely bride, Miss Fran, is here to talk about that. And guess what happens on the 27th? Her birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, honey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fran. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
I will segue into that. Mother always said that she was the president of the Ladies Auxiliary the year I was born, and that she made Daddy a poppy on Poppy Day. So,
well, that's pretty good.
That works. Yes. So we know how old it's been, or how long it's been going on in Tullahoma, at least.
Yes, 37 years.
Yeah, right. But actually, the poppy drive, or the observance of poppies, and the poppy becoming a memorial flower began in 1918. And I didn't realize that until Petra Eskew, who is our poppy chairman, asked me to come on and talk with everyone about the poppy drive. And there was a woman named Moina Michael who bought a bouquet of poppies and passed it out to businessmen where she lived, and asked them to remember veterans with the poppy. So that's how it began. There was a woman behind that movement.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and ever since, people have been remembering veterans with the sign of the poppy. And in 1923, it did become the official flower of the American Legion family in memory of soldiers who fought on the battlefields during World War I. So there was a poem written called In Flanders Fields, which I won't read, but I do want to share something I was handed called Poppy Awareness.
Okay.
It says, let's wear a poppy. They're just paper poppies, but made by tender hands, maybe not as radiantly pretty as those in nature's land, but each is filled with greater fragrance, a scent for which men died. The sweetness of freedom and liberty in each heroine is tied. So in memory of those who gave us their liberty, their love of life, let's be proud, let's wear a poppy, let's help them who won the strife. So,
lovely.
Poppies have been around our household, our vehicles, ever since I can remember. And I think time after time you'll see a poppy hanging from someone's mirror in their car or on their clothes, and you know that they're a patriot and they support the works of the American Legion Auxiliary.
That's right.
Our local group has adopted a ward at the Alvin C. York Hospital in Murfreesboro. And for many years now, we have been assisting veterans, and that's the VA Hospital Murfreesboro Ward 8B. And we go there several times a year to visit with the veterans, to give them gifts, to host parties for them. And we also adopted a female warrior, if you will, and we try to do special things for her.
Wonderful.
But the American Legion wants to help our population remember veterans. A lot of veterans are forgotten, and I think even more so now in these days and times, we see our World War II veterans passing away, and we have Korean veterans and Vietnam veterans and Desert Storm and Gulf War and so many others. Our soldiers are coming back and then going back, as we all know, to the Middle East, and we need to remember them. And one way we can do that is by buying a poppy.
And where will the poppies, where can someone find a poppy? And if they can't find a poppy, where can they make a donation to the poppy sale?
All right. I'm glad you asked that, John. On Friday, several of the women in the American Legion Auxiliary will be at banks in Tullahoma. So I would say most all the banks in Tullahoma will have a representative there standing on the sidewalk with a poppy. And of course, these are not for sale. They're strictly a donation.
Right.
And on Saturday, we will be at several businesses. I'm going to be at Kmart. There will be those at Kroger, Walmart, other stores in town. So we would encourage people to look for a lady from the American Legion Auxiliary and take a poppy and make a little donation. These are handmade by veterans, and when I look at them, I think someone special made this. Yeah. And all I can do is think of them and hope they're having a good day, and then give back something to them.
And there will also be two street corners now. I believe there's only 2 street corners that are allowed to have roadblocks in town, and that is on Washington and Hogan, and then on Anderson and
Is that
Grundy.
Grundy?
Anderson
Right.
and Grundy. So those are the only two streets that roadblocks are allowed, and there will be people there at those two streets. So if you're driving around, make a pass over to one of those two streets and pick up a poppy. And as Fran said, the people who put on the uniform every day and stand on the wall to protect our freedom deserve respect. They deserve to be cared for. And when they come back home, be they injured physically, mentally, or whatever, their families need to be cared for properly while they're gone. Any way we can help our veterans and our soldiers, we need to step up and do it, because they're the ones fighting for our freedom every day.
That's right. John, I will say that if someone would like to make a donation, they could mail it to the American Legion Auxiliary. And our president is Pat Outlaw, and her mailing address is 208 South Jefferson Street here in town.
Okay.
The American Legion post home is located, still relatively new, on Atlantic Street between the Veranda House and Legal Services. You'll see it there, or we could say near Couches.
Right.
And
Couches is what?
117. 117 North Atlantic.
And 1517. So I think that's 119, maybe 121.
Actually, it's the other way.
Other way.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
the post is open. We have meetings monthly. The Legion meets. I believe that they have a meeting tonight. And our auxiliary meets this Thursday, the 24th. And all women who have had fathers, grandfathers, spouses, brothers in the service are welcome. Sons, yes, that's right, in the service are eligible to join. We'd love to have them. We will be remembering 7 of our members who have perished over the last couple of years this Thursday.
Okay.
And we'll be installing officers for the next year.
Very good.
The auxiliary is very active, and we also enjoy playing bingo out at Life Care Center. We do that every month and have a good bunch to go and volunteer there. So we do a lot of good things and try to bring a lot of cheer to the veterans and to others in the community.
Very good. That's Miss Fran. My Miss Fran. She's got a birthday this weekend as well. Poppy Day's the 26th, birthday's the 27th, and she's headed down to South Jackson to have some fun today down there. Don't forget about going to South Jackson for all their events.
That's right.
And we'll be right back with these messages. Poppy Day, the 26th.
Our office used to look like this, but now with My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
Wherever good can overcome, that is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to have join us on set an old friend of mine from high school. I won't tell you how old. Actually, probably most of you know. But Don, to my left is Don Cleveland, and to his left is Harold Jackson, who I just found out moved to Tullahoma to fly model airplanes.
Yes, sir.
And what does that say for Tullahoma? That's obviously a big deal in Tullahoma.
The coffee airfoilers have been in existence for like 52 years now. For those of us who play in the hobby, we have one of the finest flying facilities in the Southeast. We've got a beautiful facility out, going towards the base and well taken care of. And people migrate to where to do things like people would move here to go to fishing at Timms Ford. They've come to fly model airplanes.
That's unbelievable. I had no idea that it would be that popular.
Yeah, I personally have moved 4 families to Tullahoma to fly model airplanes.
So what did you do before you didn't do anything, Harold?
I was an engineer and a planning engineer for the Department of Transportation.
I see. Okay.
27 years.
Okay. And you moved here from where?
From Gallatin.
Gallatin. Okay. All right. Well, we learn something every day. That's what I love about this show.
Yeah.
I also heard you, and then we're going to get into your subject matter here in a moment. But I heard you talking to Dan Markham just a moment ago, and you guys were reminiscing about your dad,
right,
and Charlie Folk, who was the founder of Microcraft here in Tullahoma, doing what you're doing right now.
Actually, a little bit of the history back when Charlie and Dad and some of the others were working at Langley Field, Virginia, and NASA basically, it was NACA back in those days, and what they did, they went in and hired the whole model airplane club because of their skills and their technologies. They had to build models to start playing with wind tunnels, and that was back in the 47, 48 range, and then of course we all moved here in 52, 53.
That is unbelievable. So they just went in there and
went to hire the whole club.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
And it was very successful. A lot of the folks came either to Tullahoma, to Houston, or to Huntsville. And the model airplane, I've still got pictures of the old folks and pictures of folks who used to be here in Tullahoma. Most of them passed away now. But yeah, it's interesting. Of course, Tullahoma is an aviation town, and even what we do in the model business and the model, flying the models, kind of falls in line with that. We've got about 100 members here in Tullahoma, and we fly all kinds of planes, either helicopters, radio control sailplanes, or regular radio control planes, and probably later this year we'll come on and bring some other stuff too. So
okay, that is unbelievable. Donnie was in here one time, and I got to tell you this story real quick. He was in here one time, and he was flying around this helicopter here in the studio. My daughter thought I needed one of them because I was fascinated with it, so she went out and bought me one. First time I took it out in the field beside my office, I lost it in the trees. First time. So Donnie tells me now that a person really needs a little instruction about how to do that before.
And that's one of the things. If people are really interested in radio control hobby, if they'll come out to the model airplane field, we have 5 trainers, people who are certified trainers, to help people get into the hobby. And we get them folks all weekend and want to come out. We get probably 1 or 2 new folks a week that come out, and you learn. And it's better if you, instead of going out in your backyard trying to learn to fly, as you know.
Didn't work out well.
Doesn't work as well, and usually doesn't. So if you'll come out, we'll provide you a free instruction. Doesn't cost you anything. Even our dues, for example, is $25 a year, so it's extremely reasonable to belong in play. So next time, come out. I'll show you how.
We had a gentleman stop by early this week from McMinnville, and who wanted to get back into the hobby, and he just was riding by and saw the field and pulled in and started talking to us, and hopefully we'll have a new member soon.
Well, I had no idea that you guys offered that service. That's phenomenal. But before I talk about other things and expend all our time here, we need to talk about what your event that's got coming up here.
Yeah, what we've got is the 21st annual Mid-South Soaring Championships. Now, one of the classifications of model airplanes is radio control sailplanes, and they're going to show some on here, which I haven't seen the video, so bear with me. But radio control soaring, the contest, Mid-South started in Huntsville, Memphis, and Louisville. Tullahoma got into the loop several years ago, and now it's Tullahoma, Louisville, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Pensacola, Florida. So this is like the largest sailplane contest in the Southeast. We'll have 40 to 45 entrants in the unlimited classification, which is Saturday and Sunday. But anyways, Friday, we'll start out with hand launch, which is what I brought in here Friday morning. And what you see is an RES plane, rudder, elevator, and spoiler plane. We'll do that Friday afternoon starting about 1. And then Saturday and Sunday we'll have 2 days of unlimited competition. And that's one that you see up there now.
And this looks like, to me, this would be fun just to watch even if you weren't a participant in the competition.
It's mostly, sometimes they fly so far away it's hard to see them. Once you get a feeling of what's going on, yeah, it is. It's interesting. You can see them launching the planes here. It's basically a long pulley, goes out about 900 feet, and we tow the plane up. It's got a little hook on the bottom, and it goes up, and you can see them launch here. And it goes up this pulley. The pilot, the guy who piloted the thing, actually controls the speed of how fast it goes up. So we will come off with the unlimited planes, again, what you're seeing here, about 450 to 500 feet high, with kind of what we call a zoom. We kind of zoom it up for altitude. The task, what they do in this event, is it's called thermal duration, and it's also got a landing task. So you're supposed to fly for 10 minutes exactly on the nose. You're penalized a point plus or minus for every second you're off the 10 minutes. So you got to land it exactly on time and in the designated area. So
and this plane that's on the table here is actually remote control. It's got electronics.
This is remote control. This is what they call a hand launch, which is one of the things, one of the classifications that's really up and coming. You grab it by the wingtip and throw it. It's really interesting to do and interesting to watch. A little bit different task for a hand launch, but I also direct the contest, the national contest in hand launch. So I'm pretty active in the thing.
So this, I'm always amazed at this, but how much would this plane here be worth?
This one is about $700 for the airframe, and then a couple $100 for electronics. You can get into it a lot cheaper. Now this is competition version.
Now, how nervous do you get when you take these out there and you think, I may crash this?
Only the first time. After that, you kind of get over it.
Oh, okay.
You're so busy flying them that's the
last thing you're worried about.
You're not really worried about that.
But if the folks are out, it's free this weekend. Come out and watch. If you have questions about wanting to fly, stop Harold or I. We'll be available all weekend. Be glad to get folks and show them how to get in the hobby.
And there's probably a lot of people in this area that might be interested in that, because there's so many people that have been involved in it.
And we get them from, we got a lot of members from Shelbyville, from Winchester, Manchester, around. So it's not just a Tullahoma group.
Okay, real quick, this is going to be, starts this Friday, right?
Friday at first flight start at 9 o'clock.
Okay, all right.
We're glad to have you. Welcome the folks.
Sounds like fun. And Harold, welcome to Tullahoma. I'm glad you came here.
I am glad I'm here too.
All right. Good. We'll be right back in a moment, folks, right after these messages.
I'm NASCAR driver Mark Martin. You know what's worse than waiting in traffic? Waiting in the emergency room when you're in pain. So choose the ER that's extra fast, ER Extra. ER Extra is specifically engineered to get you the help you need and back in action with race car speed. ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
ER Extra. Exclusively at Harton Regional Medical Center.
Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's News Leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's news, get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This past weekend was the Spring Fling Open House over at the Coker Building, and we were there. So we're going to take you there right now. And this is the Spring Open House at Coker's, and there's all kinds of fun things to do and see, and we're going to go inside here in a minute and check it out. That's the Merchants at Coker's. And Russ has a couple of his antique cars out here in front for people to glance at. Good looking rides. And the folks from the Duck Radio are over here doing a live transmission from Coker's today. Doing some hula hooping, doing some sidewalk painting, and having a good time. All right, folks, we're going to walk into the new bistro at Coker's, and it's just opening up today with a partial menu because it's the time to be here. And of course, the shelves are empty because they're just starting out. But this will be a great place for you to come and try the food out in the upcoming weeks. And there's a full bakery here, so come by the bistro at Coker's. And again, this is what Shopping Small is all about. There's numerous people who have filled these rooms up with product where you can come. All of it is local stuff. Most of it, a lot of it is handmade. A lot of it is original and one of a kind. Every little nook and cranny has something in it that's different. Look at that wonderful burlap, a star, American flag star. A Patriot? Yeah, here's the place to get it at Coker's. And they're busy here today because they're having their special open house weekend. The cash register is full of people, and everybody's buying and everybody's having fun. Again, here's a new room filled up with stuff. Great things here at the Coker Building. There's everything in the world you can imagine. From candles to ironwork. I love this ironwork section. That's some pretty stuff here. Look at these big old candles here. Here they are. It's the shoe shop. We're selling shoes here today. They got shoes at the Coker Building. Anything you want at the Coker Building, you can get it here. Classy clearance. Now that's classy right there. I need a pair of those. And here's pictures on the wall down here at the Coker's. Everything from babies to tennis shoes. Here's the Cajun Corner for all you Cajun folks that are looking for New Orleans style salads and sauces and chips and stuff. And then on the other side is the Tupperware section. You never know who you might find at the Coker Building.
Just like a kitchen buddy.
There you go. Look at that good-looking man right there. John, how you doing, partner?
I'm doing fine, John. How are you doing?
Doing well. Check it out. That's the Merchants at Coker's.
County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay. Bank Your Change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want. At our offices, or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
If you're looking for a great atmosphere, good music, an open design, and a staff that understands what it takes to serve the best food around, you'll find it at the Timberloft Restaurant in Manchester. Locally owned and operated, the Timberloft features smoked meats, prime rib, black Angus steaks, sandwiches, burgers, pastas, incredible appetizers and sides, and decadent desserts made in-house. Searching for a new place to hang out with company clients and friends? With a cozy feel, a quiet bar, awesome drinks, and big city quality food, you found it when you visit the Timberloft. 1165 Woodbury Highway, Manchester. Catering and party planning available. The Timberloft. Spectacular.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster, and I have the great honor of getting to interview Dr. Lawson this week. I don't usually get to do this. It's usually one of the big guys.
Yeah, one of the big guys.
So it's a treat for me. Welcome.
Maybe they could learn something from you with the primal diet you were talking about earlier.
That's right. They won't listen to me. I'm not giving up bread.
No, is it primal? What's it called?
I'm called Primal Lifestyle.
Primal Lifestyle,
Living.
yes.
Yeah, there's a version called Paleo.
Yeah, I know about the paleo diet.
But the primal's just kind of sort of getting back to our hunter-gatherer roots and eating the things that our hunter-gatherer ancestors ate and living that kind of lifestyle.
Right.
You know, they got out in the sun.
They got out in the sun.
They went barefoot. They ate dirt.
Dirt don't hurt, right?
Dirt didn't hurt, right? So their immune systems were stronger because they, weren't protected from everything.
We know there's a study that was recently read about how clean your house is compared to how much childhood diseases your kid gets.
Right.
The spectacularly clean houses kind of led to more asthma.
Because their bodies never get a chance to adapt and learn how to cope with things, right?
Right.
Well, if I had children, they'd be really healthy because the house is not very clean. As much as I try. And animals, they said being around animals is healthy for you. And
right.
So that's why my house is dirty, because I have 5 animals that run in and out all day long. So I try.
That is really dependent upon some genetic predispositions. Because some people are highly allergic and they'll just immediately react. So there's not going to be any adaptation or any learning of your immune system.
For that.
But then others of us who don't have that, it's fine. Because then we get to exercise our immune system, turn them into incredible Hulks and stuff like that in a less clean house, let's say.
What was I going to ask you? I don't know. Oh, and the good bacteria that's supposed to live in your gut?
Right. There are hundreds of strains. And like when we eat garden vegetables without all the pesticides on them, we don't have to worry about washing them. So when we eat them chopped up fresh from the garden, we're going to get those bacteria naturally how we should. But we don't eat that way, so we need to actually supplement that by taking probiotics.
Yeah, see, I have you weren't here for the beginning of the show, but I have a little garden outside, and I still wash my vegetables, even though I don't put any pesticides or anything on there, but birds pee.
Hey, there's probably some probiotics up in there.
But yeah, it's probably safer just to take a probiotic. And
birds actually don't pee.
Oh, really?
They have this gets gross. I had animal taxonomy and stuff like that in undergrad. And they have a cloaca, which means common sewer. So they do both at the same time.
At the same time. So I was trying to be polite and not say bird poop. Birds poop on the garden.
Yes, they do.
So that was pointless.
Right. So we should eat more naturally, because the more processed foods are, the more it robs the food of nutrients.
Right.
Which, when we eat food, what's the purpose of eating food?
To
build the body, right? To build the body. We have to take that raw material and turn it into this right here.
That sounds very
And if we eat French fries, that's not going to make a good body, right?
Right.
So we've got to eat a lot more than French fries. We've got to eat a wide array of food. And did you know people who take glucosamine?
Glucosamine for their joints and stuff.
Right. You know, the most common building block of the gastrointestinal tract is glucosamine.
Really?
Yes. So your joint health
glucosamine is good?
Glucosamine is good, but your joint health is highly related to your gut health.
Your gut health.
Right.
Now,
so if your joints are sick, you probably have a sick intestinal
gut.
tract.
Now,
sick
does
gut.
everybody, is there just like a broad spectrum probiotic that everybody can take, or are they tailor-made for certain people?
No, actually what I recommend to patients is they get one, and the next time they get one, they get a different one. And they just keep rotating them.
So that you're just always introducing
Yeah, you're getting different genetic strains, you know, from the different companies. And some companies are better than others because they have a wider array. But you just keep switching it up and
But
just keep
if we
taking
lived,
them.
if we were eating naturally off the land, we wouldn't have the same thing every week. It would always be changing according to what was
The
available
season,
and where
right,
you were in the season.
Mhm.
And so
Very
this is how your whole practice works, is a holistic approach.
Right. Well, and that involves listening to what's going on. Okay, so the patient presents a problem, and I pretty much ask the problem what's happening. So someone with knee pain, it may be associated with their back, and their back problem comes from their gut. And then we have to talk about diet and lifestyle at that point. Because I can adjust their back and make their knee feel better.
Right.
But if they don't change what they're doing, their knee's never really going to get better.
And it's gonna just come back
It's
over
going
and over.
Right. And if the back is irritating the knee and making the knee not work right, it's going to wear and tear a lot quicker, and they'll end up getting a knee replacement. So if you take care of the problems now, then you won't have them so much later.
And so that's the really cool thing, that instead of just addressing the symptoms, you're digging down deep to figure out where, back to the origin of the problem.
Right.
And fixing it.
And that's
Here.
really important.
All right. So diet, exercise, how does exercise fit into your general health work? I mean, does everybody exercise the same, or do we all have special needs?
Well, everyone's metabolism is a little different. Everyone's makeup's a little different. We all have different blood types, right? So different body types are going to need different types of exercise. Some people can actually do those hard, intense workouts. Other people may start gaining weight if they do those hard, intense workouts.
Right.
Because what will happen is their adrenal glands will produce more cortisol, and cortisol blocks all the fat-burning hormones.
I see. So this primal lifestyle that we were talking about, their exercise recommendation, very simplified, is to walk long distances slowly, you know, not killing yourself with cardio. Every once in a while, run really fast like you're chasing something or being chased by something, and lift heavy things every once in a while, because those are the things that our hunter-gatherer bodies were designed to do in our everyday lives.
Right.
So, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Right.
There's a lot to that because, you know, we need to sleep well. If we don't get enough sleep, what happens? We produce more cortisol because we don't get into this deep sleep cycles like we're supposed to. And so we're going to not be as healthy.
And
So the less healthy we are, the more stressed, the less sleep we get, the worse we eat, the more you're going to need to come to my office. So if you have those bad habits and you want to keep them, just go ahead and come to my office and you can keep doing that stuff. I'll just have to adjust you a lot to make you feel better.
How often?
Probably once a week if you're going to do that.
If
If you're not going to fix yourself, just come in, I'll adjust you, I'll take care of it, and I'll help you, you know.
Do you come to the mechanic once a week, or do your regular maintenance and take care of your lifestyle and not have to come as often?
You know, everybody, when they come to my office, I try to tailor make an approach that best fits their needs. You know, budget, lifestyle, etc. What if they want to just focus on getting healthy? We can do that. If they want to, you know, not change anything but just address the pain, we can do that. It just depends on what they need. I like to help someone optimize their health.
Okay, so we don't have to actually wait till we're hurting to come see you.
No, because that's really too late.
Too late.
Yeah, because if you wait to get a cavity to go to the dentist, I mean, that cavity's been working there for years, right?
Right.
So, you know, handle it before it gets there. You know, there's an old Chinese proverb, if, you know, your doctor let you get sick, he's not a good doctor.
Oh, there you go. That's
And I think the emperor used to, like, kill the
doctor of the people
physician
that got
if he
sick.
got sick.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, on that note, we'll say goodbye for this month. Hopefully
right.
we'll see you next month.
Sounds
and
good.
Thank you so much. It's always fun and entertaining when you're here, and informative.
Yes. Good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of Living right after this.
I went to several colleges, but when I stepped into this gym, it just felt like home.
Just learning the different techniques and the way Mr. Bryan tells us how to study the subject. Art, that's where it's really at for me.
I decided to go to nursing because I've always wanted to help people. You make those connections that you probably never forget. This is my motto, my future.
If you're interested in the freshest China buffet in the area, you've got to visit the China Super Buffet and the Walmart Shopping Center in Deckard. Featuring all the Asian dishes you have come to love, the China Super Lunch Buffet starts at $6.39 and the Dinner Buffet at $9.99. Sushi is available all day, every day, and crab legs every night from 3:30 till close. Seniors get a 10% discount. Kids 3 to 5 eat free Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights. Happy hour is 5 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with $1.29 drafts. Leo and his staff will be waiting for you at the China Super Buffet, Walmart Shopping Center in Deckard.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
For things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
All right, folks, we're back, and one of the things I also did when I was over at the Coker Building the other day is I went upstairs to Creative Wine's new fermenting room, and this is very interesting. John and Kathy Manis have gone before the state legislature and had the law changed to where they can ferment wine in their facility. You can ferment your own wine in an on-premise facility, and I will just let them tell you about it because they do a better job at that than I can. But this is Creative Wine's ferment room in the Coker Building. All right, we are up in the Creative Wine section right here, and we're going to see what John and Kathy have got going on. Looky here, looky here. John, how you doing, partner?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Fine. This is your new facility.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll catch up with you as soon as you get through with these clients you're talking to, and we'll visit a bit.
Sounds good. Good seeing you.
So look at here. They've got this set up here, and this is a place where you can make your own wine, leave it at the facility, and pick it up when it's done. And we'll talk to John about it in just a minute.
And make like 4 kids and share on it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're with John and Kathy Manis in Creative Wine's fermenting room, which is upstairs at the Coker Building, and this is something not only brand new to Tullahoma, but brand new to the state of Tennessee. And explain to our audience about how this took place.
Well, about 2 years ago, Kathy and I talked about opening a store where people could come in and actually learn how to make wine. And so we went before the Alcohol and Beverage Commission and asked them about the possibility of having a store where people could come in and be instructed and make wine during the process for their own personal consumption at home. And we were told that that wasn't possible with the statutes that we currently had in the state of Tennessee. So I started the process working with Judd Matheny here in Tullahoma with the House and Eric Stewart with the Senate to introduce legislation which took us about a year to go through the process. It was approved by the House and Senate and then signed into law by Governor Haslam in June, which became effective January 1st. So we were the first ones to apply for what is now called an instructional on-premise winemaking facility or store, and that's where you can actually come and learn how to make wine while actually creating your own wine and then being able to take it home for your own enjoyment.
All right, well, Kathy, I've noticed looking around that you have in your facility a lot of different types of wine and not types of wine, but types of product that you use to create your own wine. What's one of the favorites?
One of the favorites among the ladies, we should say, is the strawberry Riesling kit that we have. One of the newest kits that we do have that they're making is a raspberry dragon fruit white Shiraz. And the minute you open the bottle, you get the wonderful aroma of raspberries, and it has a neat sweet taste to it. But we carry all kinds of kits, whites and reds. We carry fruited wines. Anything you like to drink, you can make.
How long does it take for this process to take place?
The process takes a couple of visits to come in. The first visit takes about 20 minutes, and you will get instruction and start your wine in a fermenting bucket. And then you come back in about a week and you do another step where you're going to siphon it from the bucket into what's called a carboy or a jug. And then it sits there for 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what it is you're making. And then you're going to come back and you'll go over to our stations where we have a place for you to bottle it and cork it and label it. And you can even put the nice foil caps on the top so that it looks professional.
And label. You have labels, but if people would like to, they can even design their own label.
They can design their own label if there's a special occasion, if you're making it for a wedding, an anniversary, a special birth, or a party. One of the neatest things that they do in the Italian customs is that when a baby is born, they actually make a batch of wine and they keep it until the child gets married. So it's a fun process, and it's a family thing among the Italians, and it's just a fun process altogether.
All right, so what are your hours going to be here?
Here at the ferment room in the loft of the Coker, it's going to be by appointment only at first. We're not sure what our days specifically are going to be. So you can call us at 563-4911 and we will make an appointment.
And they can also always find you at the Create a Wine shop up the street. That's Wednesday through Saturday?
So Thursday and Fridays, 11 to 6, and Saturday from 11 to 4. Yep, we're in the little yellow house.
All right. Well, I tell you what, these are two people who have done extra. They've taken on, not really taken on, but gone before the state government to change the law to be able to do the entrepreneurial type endeavor that they chose. And because of them, you can now make your own wine in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Congratulations to both of you, and thank you very much.
Thanks. Hi, this is Kathy from Create a Wine, and we here at Create a Wine want to say congratulations to all the graduates of THS Class of 2012. We're so excited for you. Here at Create a Wine, we take simple grape juices from all over the world and help you to create a wonderful beverage. And we hope that you graduates take and create your own future now that you're able to leave. We hope that you have a great future ahead of you, and best wishes from Create a Wine.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
of all that attention. All Rita wanted was...
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Monte Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night at 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
Hi there, and welcome back here. Of course, it's always a pleasure to be right here on the set, of course, and it's always very prestigious, distinguished guests I have with me, and none other is the very wonderful state representative, Mr. Pat Marsh. Pat, it's good to see you.
Well, good to see you, Marilyn.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on your show.
I was just saying that you always do wonderful things. You're kind of like the voice when it comes to representing this particular area. Yes. And I have to ask you again, I ask you every time, the districts that you're actually serving.
District 6-2, okay, which is all of Bedford County.
Yes.
And the top 2/3 of Lincoln County and a little bit of the western part of Rutherford County at the current time. And after redistricting, which will be after the next election, I will give up the Rutherford County area and have Bedford and Lincoln only.
Okay. So that's more about concentrating on some areas and such. And Rutherford, has that, how has the territory been for you?
Well, it's been good, but I'm excited about having just 2 counties where I feel like I can do a better job with 2. And Rutherford County had so many things going on. We have a huge Chamber of Commerce and MTSU and just a lot more people. So they're getting a completely new rep to handle a lot of that.
Okay,
So.
all right. As I mentioned, you are the voice when it comes to representing these particular areas and such. Some of the things that you bring to the table that individuals, constituents have actually said, well, okay, we need this, or Pat, what about helping me on this issue? What are some of those issues?
Well, some of the issues are mainly, I guess, most calls I get are concerning they can't get on unemployment or disability.
Exactly.
And a lot of that's federal programs. But we make calls to the people in the state, see if we can help them out there. We also call Scott Dejolay's office or Diane Black's office in Washington, and they've got some really very good people that are willing to help us out. And we normally end up getting the folks some help. I get a lot of calls about, some of the road problems and
ongoing,
a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. This being the general election year, big election year and such, how does that change, or does it change maybe the format of things or the atmosphere there at the House because of maybe tension and things of that nature?
Well, I could tell a big difference this year because it was election year. Everybody was talking a little bit more and talking about contentious items that they were on one side or the other. And I'm like, why are they talking like this? But you realize that they're doing it because election time is coming. They're trying to be on TV or trying to be in the paper of saying something that's going to help them garner some votes.
That's right.
I'm very lucky this year, and I don't have anybody running against me. And so I'm still trying to go to as many functions and to hear what people have to say about things that are going on in the district, things that we need to change or make better. And also at the same time, I don't feel the pressure of having to run a huge campaign because I don't have anybody running against me. But so it is a little bit, it's more fun.
Top issues, would you say the economy?
Yes, certainly. Jobs. Jobs in the economy, and everything's about jobs.
It is. It is. And I'm thinking that your constituents are saying, Pat, you've got a magic wand. Make this go away or change this. And it's really just not that easy.
No, it's not that easy. We did a lot of good things in the session, in legislative session this year that I was very proud of. We cut more taxes this past year than have ever been cut in the state before. We cut the gift tax completely out. We cut the death tax, or the estate tax will be completely gone in 2016. And we cut about, I think it's about $14 to $15 million a year off of the sales tax on food. We cut 0.25% this year, and I'm pretty sure the governor will come back next year and probably ask for another 0.25%, which is huge. So I think the figures that I saw was like $100 million in taxes that we cut this year, most ever.
Okay.
And we changed a lot of the ways that government operates. It cut a lot of the boards and commissions down, saved a lot of money there. One of the best things that I think we did this year was the governor's initiative to change the way state employees are hired and managed. And I think that's really going to really help our state to be more productive and to be more efficient in the near future.
Exactly. Where do we come when it comes to education and such? That's a big thing.
Yeah, we're still in the 40s, mid 40s in the nation, which is bad. But I've seen some encouraging signs here recently that we're moving up. Some science scores, I saw that we moved up.
Very good.
A lot of things in education have changed, and I think we're really going to see the fruits of that pay off very quickly.
Exactly. I remember the latter part of April, there were some very late nights, I think, that you guys were having there in Nashville. What was going on there?
Well, toward the end,
or is it like that normally?
It's like that normally.
Okay.
The leadership had a goal of being out by the end of April.
Yes.
We got up May the 1st. We didn't make the end of April, but we came very close. And because they were so hard-pressed and determined to be out in April, we had to stay there late trying to finish. We just could not get it done. It was just so many things that happened. And right at the end, the House meets and then the Senate meets, and we're waiting on them or they're waiting on us. So you can't rush it. And we were trying to, we probably could have gotten through, but we'd have been there even later. And you make some bad decisions when you're tired
and rushed.
That's right.
That type of thing. What would you like to see? What are some of the things on your wish list for this area?
Well, I'd like to see us still become more friendly to businesses to operate and to grow, and I think we did some things on that in the last 2 or 3 years that are going to make it easier to start a business in Tennessee and easier for a business to grow. We've cut out some regulations. We've cut out some red tape. We've made it just a little bit easier on folks, cutting some of these taxes, and by us having no state income tax, I think is a real plus and draws people in. And in Lincoln County, they've got 2 industrial parks that are in the process of becoming a reality. We've got some money from the state going into sewers and road infrastructure, and I think those things will really pay off.
Excellent.
And in Bedford County, there's a group meeting on starting a new industrial park over there, and I saw in the paper this week that the city council is meeting with the chamber and the industrial park about trying to see how they can work together to make things easier for businesses and how to attract businesses. And I think we're in a great place, great location. Good roads and good people, low taxes, low regulations, and we got a governor that's very business friendly. It's really going to happen, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Can't let you get out of here before asking a little bit about what was the ghost voting about. What's this about?
Well, I think it was a sensationalism by the TV channel up there, because I do have a stick.
Yes.
And I've had one since the day I started.
And you're the only one that uses the stick. Your stick.
I'm the one that uses my stick. And I vote, a lot of days, and you're leaning back in your chair, you're listening. It's just easier. Maybe you say it's lazy, but it's just a lot of times I just push my button. Now, I have voted for my seatmate, and he has voted for me. But what happens there is, if he says he has to go to the restroom, would you? We already know how we're going to vote on. Would you push the yes button or we push the no button? But there is a rule, and if it's under the rules, what it's called, and if we invoke that, then you only can vote for yourself. You have to be in your seat, and that rule is used quite often. And when that rule is in effect, I don't see anybody voting for anybody but themselves.
Right.
I just think that I really don't see a problem in that. I don't see an abuse with it. And what I did see on the news about one person voting for another, and she was not there that day, that is terrible. That does not need to happen, and I didn't know that happened. So I don't really think that's abused at all.
Right, okay, very good. Got to wrap things up. For individuals maybe wanting to contact you for various issues and such, I'm sure there are many ways and means they can do that, Pat?
Yes, they can. We have a website and an email address in the state, and it's rep.pat.marsh@capitol, capitol.tn.gov, or you can call 615-741-6824, and we'll be glad to get back with you as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Or I know a lot of folks in Bedford and Lincoln County. Just ask one of them how to get a hold of me, and I'll come see you.
Well, I know one thing. You've always returned calls each and every time, and sometimes I think you'll forget me, and you'll call out of the blue.
Oh, I'm not going to forget you, Marilyn.
Never do, and I really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you calling.
It's good to have you to represent the areas that you do. Keep doing what you're doing. I know there's a lot of good team players and such, as you mentioned, the governor and the director of schools, and you know all of these areas and such. So it all makes a difference.
It does. It does, and we all got to work together, and we've got a great team going in District 6-2.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's been another great guest here. Just Plain Living. It's Pat Marsh, State Representative. We certainly appreciate Pat and his time today. I'm Marilyn Ewing. Stay tuned. They'll return with more in just a moment.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weekly, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
You know, folks, we have all kinds of great things happening around here. We have a new whining room over at the Coker Building. One of the things that happened recently is there is a store in Tullahoma, Taylor's Archery, that won the award for Archery Business Magazine of being the #1 store in the United States of America in archery products and sales and service, which is a great honor. And I went over and had a little conversation with them the other day, and we want to bring that to you and let you realize that the #1 archery supply store in the United States of America is right here in Tullahoma to serve us and our surrounding folks with all of their sports needs. So let's go over there and check them out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at Taylor's Archery, and this is Sandy and Tracy Taylor. And Taylor's Archery has just been chosen by Archery Business Magazine as the National Dealer of the Year. Congratulations, folks.
Thank you.
What did you have to do to get this award?
Well, a lot of our customers wrote into the magazine. They either wrote in or faxed it or emailed them, you know, the reason they come shopping here. And that company just made a decision on 4 different archery stores in the United States, and we won the southern area. And then after they pick 4, then they interview. We go through an interview process over the phone, and we had to take tons and tons of pictures, and then out of those 4, one of them got chosen as the cover of the magazine, and we did get the cover of the magazine.
Well, let's look at that right there. Just leave that right where you've got it. Turn it sort of toward me. It's got a little glare. There you go. Look at that. Look at that fine-looking couple right there. That is a great honor, and it's wonderful for something like that to happen to a business in Tullahoma. Tracy, what do you think are some of the reasons that people have flocked to this place and made it so successful for you?
It's just we try to treat people right. We try to be honest with them, and when they leave our store, we try to have everything set where it works like it's supposed to work.
Okay, and that's you're talking about that with the equipment, with the bows,
yes,
and I noticed and went over and had some of the guys shoot that you have a range inside the store.
Yes, sir.
And I imagine that's good for a lot of folks to be able to practice and not have to go out in the woods and
sure, if it's too
stomp
hot,
around in the rain or heat.
Sure, if it's too hot or too cold or too wet or whatever, just you come in and get a little practice in.
And another good thing is you get to shoot the bow before you buy it.
This and these, you think about a bow and arrow, and I think about going to scout camp and the little wooden bows we used to have to shoot. These are some high tech products.
Oh yeah, this is not something you just order through the mail and pull out of a box and
go out in the backyard.
Have success with it. It's something that has to be set up to fit you, and if you want to excel with it, you got to put some time into it and get it set up right.
Okay, this past weekend you had a contest, a championship, one of the championship shoots out on Timms Ford Lake. Tell us a little bit about that. What is that series? I think it's kind of a series, isn't it?
Well, we have a shoot each month: March, April, May, June, July, and August. The August will actually be our Shooter of the Year shoot-off. The others you just qualify to shoot in that.
Mm-hmm. And I think there were 17 positions or 18 positions, targets?
No, there's 20.
20. Okay. Well, I was out there and I was in the field out there, and I saw 18 different things. There's moose and elk.
And we got everything from
bear,
coyote, bear, deer, elk, turkeys. Just
and you had a really good turnout.
All life-size, 3-dimensional foam animals, and you just have to. The key to it is being able to guess how far that animal is.
And it's very friendly, for the family. It's not just for the shooter, the pro. It's also for the beginner too, to get practice and
sure.
and learn about judging yardage, and it's just a lot of fun.
All right, you're on the course now, and how many targets are there on the course? 20 targets, and you're on target. The big deer over there is target 17? All right, and so having a good time today?
Yes, a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. It's a great day for it. You're getting ready to go into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And what's in the woods?
More targets.
More deer?
Even a big elk.
There's an elk back there?
There's wild boar.
Wild boar?
Yeah, turkeys.
All right. Well, I guess that Taylor's Archery is something special, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, we congratulate them, and y'all have a big time.
Thank you.
Well, let me tell you, what I'd like you to do is let people know right now, where can they find Taylor's Archery?
100 East Lauderdale, Tullahoma, Tennessee.
And I'm sure you have a website.
Yes, sir. It's TaylorsArcheryandOutdoors.com.
And I know you have a Facebook page.
It's Taylor's Archery. You just have to look up Taylor's Archery or Taylor's Archery and Outdoors,
that's how I found it. So, and the phone number
931-563-7706.
Sandy and Tracy, two Tullahoma business people who are known now all over the United States of America as Archery Business Magazine's Business of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Salam.
Hewa.
Rida.
Apa?
Mir.
Shanti.
Nhiệt chẳng nhóc đi.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs are making it happen. Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
All right, folks, we're back, and it's springtime, and of course it's getting warm right now. Going to turn into summer here pretty quick, but springtime means spring football, and the Tullahoma Wildcat football team has finished their spring endeavors, and Coach John Olive's with us today. We're going to discuss a little bit about that Wildcat football. Coach, how they looking?
Well, we're a little slow, but we do have pretty good size, but we've got to get faster. That's the biggest thing, and of course we will get faster when we get some of our springtime sport athletes back in with us.
Yeah, I noticed the other night what we'll do is we'll play a little of the video right now, and if it's all right with you, we'll talk,
this is the red and
we'll
white
talk over the top of it, and they can see some plays and some of the size of the kids. But we were at the red and white game the other night, and of course, like you say, your spring athletes, they were still playing baseball, they're still running track. So it gives you an opportunity maybe to look at some of the other kids a little bit more and see what they bring to offer for you.
Well, what we try to do in springtime is, number one, find young men that are ready to help us. Okay, do they have the athletic ability to play? Do they have the maturity to play? And then, okay, now what position can we plug them into? And most of the time they're already at that position, but every now and then we have to move somebody in order to give them that opportunity, because they have shown us that they're ready to contribute, they're ready to play.
Right.
And then the other thing is the springtime's a line camp, and those offensive and defensive linemen and linebackers, et cetera, they get quite a bit of work in the springtime. Even thought at one time that it might be good to let us get footballs back out in the month of June and give up spring practice in the month of May, because right now we have to put footballs back away, and but when you think about it, you got to find those young linemen too, and that's where you find them in the springtime.
Right. So y'all have the opportunity to? I know for several years you had a summer passing league and stuff like that. Do y'all not have the opportunity to do that anymore with the changes in the regulations?
Right, we do not. That's gone by the wayside.
That was a good thing.
Oh, it was a great thing. Every Monday night, it was called the Southern Middle Tennessee Passing League, and we had anywhere from 6 to 8 or 9 teams in it each summer. We'd play for 6 solid weeks. We'd take the 4th of July break right in there, but we'd go 3 weeks of playing one set of rules, and then the last 3 weeks we played a more regular regulation, what would be considered 7-on-7, and that's what we still do in July when we come out of the 4th of July dead period, is that we'll now go to MTSU, and probably last year we threw with Siegel, we'll probably throw with them again.
Right. Well, I noticed you had, of course, after Jared left, we had our quarterback for 3 years, and I know that you're searching for a quarterback here, and I noticed several young men throwing the ball the other night.
Well, we had 4 that were with us in spring practice, 2 sophomores and 2 juniors. Aaron Banks and Matt Carter are the juniors, and Hunter Myers and Jake Crabtree are the sophomores. We're also missing some baseball players and a track person that could play quarterback. Sam Toms can play quarterback, and he was still in baseball.
Right.
Justin Brown might be someone that we consider, as we've got to find some depth at that position and find it real quick. Zane Price is another one we'll consider. So there's some options there, and it'll be good. You know, I don't get to work with them during the month of June, and like Van Williams is coming out as a senior wanting to play quarterback as well, and he's been in baseball. And I just told Van, I said, look, I can't be around you with a football during this next month of June, but I said come July 9th, be ready to roll.
Well, and I know
that's all we know to do.
I noticed that you had Dalton Cox carrying the football a little bit, which gives me a thought that you might be going to put a fullback back in the backfield some this year.
That's a possibility.
And for the folks who watched the video, I got enamored by number 3.
Yeah, Riley Darden.
Riley Darden. What a explosive young man he is.
Well, after Trey Burks, after Trey Burks, our next 4 fastest young men may be sophomores.
That's something. That's something.
Good for the future.
Good for the future, Coach. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
summer, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you in the fall for some more exciting Tullahoma High School football. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. The team's taking the field. Not many people. Oh, my. He missed. Off to a rough start here. Somebody wants to go home. What's he doing?
If you're not watching college football in HD, you're watching Pee Wee TV. Graduate to Charter TV in HD and let it all in.
Here we are. We're back again.
We're back again.
The 4 Stooges instead of the 3 Stooges.
This is a good show.
Peggy's got on her poppy, and did you
I've
talk
got
about
on
that?
my poppy, yes. That's because I love the military and what they represent in our country.
And I think the American Legion Auxiliaries poppy sale's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we had Fran. We discussed that.
Fran was here,
we were on this morning
I
about
just went
that.
ahead and got my poppy.
Yeah, Peggy got ahead of the game. She's showing her poppies right now. Oh, wait a minute. That's not what I meant to say.
She can take it.
Yeah, she can take it. Peggy's a big girl. Peggy's a big girl. But that's the 26th.
Yes.
That's this Saturday.
People need to get out there and support the
And
cause.
support them. Find some way to get a poppy this weekend and support the military.
Right, absolutely.
We would appreciate it. We veterans would appreciate it very, very much.
So did I miss? Nobody said whatever festivities are going on this weekend, or was I know?
Believe it or not, I don't know I don't know.
I actually don't either.
Oh my goodness!
Graduation.
Graduation.
Yeah, graduations are happening everywhere.
And if you're watching this in Shelbyville, the fun show, horse show, is this weekend at Calisonic Arena starting Thursday night.
Well, all of us, we can all go over there.
Yeah, and we can. We can. Right.
You other people can go too.
Yeah, right.
And coming up is the Manchester Pre-Bonnaroo Festival, music festival.
Yeah, that's a huge festival going on all week this
so
weekend.
So there will be lots of stuff to do.
A lot of stuff doing.
Luke is here.
So there he is, big Chip right
there. Chip Ramsey's in the building.
Chip's in the building. We got to go, folks. Goodbye.
See you next time. Bye-bye.